you paused to look at a score that you could have waited 20 minutes, half an hour for.
Yeah. It's playoffs. Look, I'm not a typical husband that's like, well, it's Sunday, I'm watching football all day, or, oh, I can't do that, I'm going to sit and watch the hockey games. I took 30 seconds out of our day to quickly verify if my picks had done anything. The answer is meh.
We're recording.
I was unaware.
And I haven't seen you in 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. You just got back. I'm winking really pronounced, listener. We literally spend almost the entire day together, save for the 2.5 hours I was running errands.
I know. But I hadn't seen you for 2 weeks. Otherwise, before that.
You're right. I'm an awful husband.
I was traipsing around Canada. You were in Montreal.
Jet setters.
Yep. Falls give me credit.
I just choked on air.
Tina Turner's dead.
Guess we do need another hero. See what I did there?
Simply the best. That song has been in my head over and over and over. She would have been amazing to see in concert.
Yeah, but she was kind of at the tail end of her concert days by the time we were doing that sort of stuff.
No, she was still...
Like Thunderdome is where I think she started to kind of...
When was that?
That would have been 80s, late 80s, early 90s.
I feel like she did in the 90s. I do wish I went. I'm going to go see Sanchez.
I'm going to go see Arctic Monkeys. And...
I would like to see Arctic Monkeys, but...
Well, we've got a second set of tickets if you want to go the night before in Vancouver with Pickle. I'm really, really, really excited about Wu-Tang and De La Soul.
Oh, are we going?
No, me and Albert are going.
Oh.
We have spoken about this.
I want to go. There's another one, Shaggy. Who's for Stampede.
And I go to Metallica next year.
I kind of want to go to Shaggy. Anyway, we should go on with this. I mean,
welcome to the Parenting Concert Podcast.
Yes. Okay. What are the top 10 things?
The top 10.
Top 10 things. Oh, geez.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I've been out of practice. Yeah. My Fargo accent. Top 10 things new parents must know.
Number 1, don't do it. Just don't.
Well, it's too late.
Damn it. Okay. It's too late. You're stuck?
Yeah.
The kid is at home already?
This isn't things. No, they're either pregnant or like about to bring baby home or like maybe just did.
Okay. So I'll break it out. I'll try and give some tips for before baby arrives and after baby arrives. And we're talking the first one, right? Because the second one we didn't care. We basically threw her in the trunk and drove her home.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like the 70s. We're like 70s parents.
Yeah.
With our second one.
Yeah.
Because my mom did have me in a little plastic bin in the floor or on the floor of the passengers.
Top 10 things that new parents should know before and after the kid arrives. That's a great question. So many things going through my mind. The first thing is, and I've said this before, as a dad, you need to be real cool with being part of the furniture for the first 1.5 to 2 years, right? Like your job is to be really egoless and focus on making sure that mom and baby have everything they need, right? And I did parts of it good. I don't think I did everything good. I think in the first one I had to learn as I went. I would love sometimes to have a bit of a do-over, but
what would you do differently if you did a do-over?
I'd probably try and be a bit more proactive in giving you more time. I think we got into a routine. Excuse me, my nose is really stuffed up. We got into a routine where I knew when I would take a kid and you knew when you need to sleep. So I wish there were times that I forced you out, right? Go clear your head, go do these things. Because a lot of times when you did it, there was something related to school or something related to work, or so you'd get those breaks, but they weren't really breaks, right? So I kind of feel like I let you down there a little bit in kind of you time. I think would have been a bit more important. But that's just it's the idea of being part of the furniture and kind of just focusing on the baby and the mom comes with the part of before the baby comes, you really got to start talking stuff through. And not because you're going to answer everything, But just to get used to having the conversations that are going to be super hard all of a sudden when you're both tired and nervous and all the things that come with the baby being at home, right? Because we've said it before, right? Our first year was bumpy, right? We didn't know what was going on. We were stressed. We weren't taking care of each other the way we needed to sometimes. And it wasn't that we, didn't love each other or anything like that. It was just, you and I tend to both isolate whenever it gets tough and just try and shoulder on. And we had to really quickly figure out when that wasn't going to work, right? And we did, and we got through it, and we're better at it. We're not perfect, but we're better at it. But that'd be number one.
Do you wish you had like the dad boobs that you could have nursed the baby?
Not even a little bit. Nope. No. And just even mentioning it now made me feel weird. No, I didn't need anything like that. Like we did do a lot of skin to skin time. Like I remember a lot of naps with Maya where she would just be on my chest, right? So I don't feel like I lost out anything like that. One of the greatest all-time pictures of Maya is still the first time we ever took her into the theater room. And she had been cozying up, I think, on you. You guys had just finished kind of skin time and came in to watch a movie, and the sound system opened up. And I love that I got a picture of her, just her eyes. I've never seen her eyes that big. As like, what is going on? She was only a few weeks old.
Well, remember in my tummy, I couldn't go to theaters. Like we went to a movie one day, and we put everybody's winter jackets over top of my stomach. I'm like, we are going to have a deaf child because she did not, or it was so stimulating, but she was going bonkers in my tummy.
Okay, so that'd be that. I guess that's 1 and 2. I guess it's be selfless, right? As the dad, you got to be selfless, and.
But I think you would need some time for yourself.
You do,
right? You
do, absolutely. But I think it's easier for the dad to kind of disappear and have those moments, right? True. Like where the mom, especially moms that breastfeed, right? And we were really regimented in our nap times. We were really our schedule was our life for the first 8 years of the kids,
but flexible. Like even just I was at a school, when was it, last night or the night before I was going to school, I'm like, I used to park my car right there because that's where I would give Willow her,
but there were inflexible pieces to that, maybe,
but
nap time was
I want to come back to that. I want to come back to that point, but I do think, because I think people think their life is over and everything changes and it can't go back to the way it was. And I'm like, no, babies will come with you wherever they are.
Babies are easier than dogs.
Totally.
Right.
Totally. And you can still go traveling. It's super easy.
You should go traveling.
Get a bassinet. That's actually a really good tip. Get the bulkhead with a little bassinet. Yeah, it's amazing.
100%.
But we still went out. Yeah, there would be nap time, but I was just really flexible, like where nap time was. It was usually in the back of we had a hatchback car where we could go into the trunk and make a little bed, and I'd always have my computer, so I would work. And I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I wasn't implying that it ended your life or that your life was over. It was.
I go to the gym. Your mom would meet me, and she would like hang with Maya in the car while I did a workout, so Maya could have her nap, and like it might not be ideal, but we weren't strapped home and like couldn't go do anything.
No, but there were times where we did stay rigid because there was no viable option to accommodate a nap somewhere else, right? We would say no and just shut it down.
Well, that's usually because I just didn't want to go see people.
I'm aware of that. I'm trying to make it seem like we're not social pariahs.
Okay.
Because we were super into seeing people and still are, according to our kids.
Not.
But anyway, okay, so sure, that's fine.
Can I give maybe we'll go back and forth?
Yeah.
So my top one for new parents to know is your baby is going to look weird. I think that's important. People are going to say, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. No, they're lying. Newborn babies are flippin' ugly.
Yeah.
They're smushed. Their head's all misshapen. They're covered in a layer of fur. They're like furry little animals. So just so you know, just to prepare for that, they are ugly when they first come out.
Yeah. I would also add to that, they are the gender that the doctor tells you they are, not the gender you thought they were going to be. And questioning the doctor doesn't really sit well with the doctor, just so you know.
Okay. Was she mad?
She looked at you like you had a hole in your head. Like it was one of those looks of disbelief, like, did you just ask me that? Because they did the whole congratulations, it's a girl. And rather than go, oh, yeah, you responded with, are you sure? Because you had spent the past 9 months convinced it was a boy. And the doctor looked at you and, to her credit, without missing a beat, went, yes, sweetie, I've done this before. And then moved on with her day. Right.
Well, because I wanted a girl so bad. And I was terrified that I was going to be disappointed if it was a boy.
Yeah.
And so I told everybody it was a boy. We painted the room blue, got all boy clothes. So poor Maya was called a boy for the first year of her life because it was all boy clothes. But I just wanted to prepare myself because I was scared I was going to be disappointed and I didn't want to feel that. And then I'd feel guilt and shame. And so that was why.
Yeah, you hung on there pretty good. Okay.
So to my point about them being ugly, so it's okay if you don't have immediate bondage with them. Like bondage meaning like love at first sight.
Yeah, define bonding.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Love at first sight. And especially moms, you might be a little weepy and sad, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And like, what have I done? That's okay.
Yeah, and you were tough on yourself with Maya too. With feeding and stuff like that. You were really stressing about that.
Yeah. And
I had no clue how to help you with that at all. Second thing I would probably say for the fathers again, you need to be prepared for the fact that you've probably hooked the car seat up wrong, and it's fine. It'll be okay to get them home. Double check it when you get there. Second, it's the scariest ride of your life. It is the scariest ride of your life.
They look so itty bitty tiny.
They are, and you're now responsible for them and getting them home and away from all the dangers of the world. It was the single most stress. And I've driven in some bad storms on some bad roads with doing dumb things. I've never been more stressed in my life.
Really? I had no idea.
That 25-minute drive home. And it was a mixture of things, right? It wasn't just that now I'm responsible for another life. It was, I didn't know what was happening, right? Like we went to all the courses, right? And we had the books and we this and we that. And you worked with kids all the time, so you knew all about them. And then the reality hit that we had a child. It wasn't a joke. And we needed to keep it alive, set in real fast, real fast. And it is, it's awesome. And there's a window when the kid shows up that the rest of the world doesn't exist. It's you, it's your wife, it's the baby, it's your immediate family coming to meet the baby, and everything's fantastic and everything's awesome. And it's almost like when you're watching a TV show and someone is so in their head and all of a sudden they make that kind of whooshing noise and all of a sudden some stuff comes and you see everything all of a sudden like, whoosh, that's literally coming out of the parkade with the baby in the back seat. It's like, and you're like, what the hell have I done? And why am I the one in the driver's seat? This is going to be bad. But it is like, it was really, you were great and making sure you taught me kind of what I need to do and what not to do. But yeah, you feel like you don't know what's happening for the first little bit, and you just kind of move through it. Like, don't worry about it.
Does that go away? Because I feel like I never really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think with the kids though, I got it kind of dialed in. I think I got the kids dialed in. But yeah, there's that huge unknown, right? So,
well, it's incredible. It's like we are allowed to take this out of here. Like, totally. I'm fantastic with everybody else's kids.
Yeah. And now I've got to put my money where my mouth is.
So, but we didn't have a car seat. We had to go scramble. We had nothing. We were not prepared.
I had to scramble to throw it in, bring it to get you out of there.
I know.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a car
sure
seat.
Didn't.
Like the nesting that people talk about, I didn't know nesting.
No.
I had nothing.
No.
That poor little baby was in the same stinky outfit for a little while before we like got our stuff together. I don't even think we had diapers or anything. We had nothing.
Yeah, we
prepared.
had basics. We had the basics. But I think that was only because the class we were in sent us samples.
And we're appalled that we hadn't bought anything yet. Some women, like I'm sure before they even started the class, had the baby nursery set up.
Oh, 100% they did. And we were awful parents before we even had the kid.
I don't think we got a crib until.
No, we had the crib.
Oh, okay.
Because we went to that e-children place and loaded
Well, I know
up.
where we went, but.
So that's my second.
Anyway. Okay. I was going to say they eat a lot, but they don't necessarily either. Maya did not. Willow did. Willow would hunker down like before I got in trouble because she came out.
Yeah, that's right.
The doctor's like, here, hold her for a sec. And I just started like, she found the nipple and started nursing. And the doctor was appalled. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what, because I don't even think that they cut the umbilical cord. Like, she was just straight out. But anyways, they hadn't weighed her yet. They're like, you can't feed her. I'm like, well, I didn't know. You just said hold the baby, and baby found my nipple. So she latched on and she would feed for hours. Maya, 2 seconds.
Yeah, she was all business, in and out.
2 seconds, but she's so ADHD. Like, I knew the minute we started nursing, she was ADHD because she was looking around, and well, maybe not the first week, but after that.
Yeah.
The best was when she had teeth. That's something to prepare for when they get teeth and they bite down on the nipple. But she would hold on with her teeth and look around, and I would get mad at her because that hurt like a mofo. But she didn't eat a lot because that was one thing I was preparing myself for. I remember a mom who was kind of going into postnatal depression, and she's like, I just feel like a cow. That's all the babies ever want to do. So you might have that kid, or you might be stressed out like me, which was a problem because then I'm not producing milk when you're stressed. But every Tuesday I would go to one lactation clinic, and every Wednesday I would go to another lactation clinic because I was so scared she wasn't getting the hind milk. So there's the fore milk and the hind milk, and there's no way she was ever nursing. But she grew, not tons. She was on the height wise, like off charts, 99th percentile. Weight wise, like 10th
She's still a string
percentile.
bean.
So it might go either way.
Yeah. I'd say number 3 for me is everything is scary. And I mean that in the sense that, I mean, we had conversations around, well, even before that, we've joked about it before, right? Eating hot food, is it going to hurt the baby? You think everything is going to murder that baby. You think everything is. And the reality is none of it is. And if I can give one piece of advice to new parents, mothers and fathers, it's just relax.
Yeah.
Right? 99% of the first couple of years is just being there for the kid in terms of cuddles, in terms of just changing them, in terms of just engaging them. That's all you need to do. Right? Like Willow, when she was a baby, actually she was a year. It was right before her birthday party, before we ended up going to Philly and she ended up walking. Ate a glass Christmas ornament. We were getting ready for our party, and she grabbed on one that was too low. We didn't think she could grab it, and she mushed it into her mouth. And that was, I'm like, okay, we did it. We killed one of the kids. Like
she also ate A535.
She did eat. Yeah, she did eat half a tube of A535. And fun fact, kids' farts can be minty. So we found that out. But in a weird way, as horrifying as that was, it was kind of the last time I was worried about them getting hurt, legitimately hurt. Mm-hmm. Because what could be worse than your child mashing a glass?
Eating glass. And I'm terrified it's going to shred her inside.
100%. And Maya, I remember when she was little, she broke that glass at the restaurant. Remember when she was biting down on it the first time we gave her a glass? And I'm like, oh my God, she's probably drank glass shards and whatever. No, went to the doctor, went to the hospital. She's giggling like a clown, not a cut on her. They swabbed her. They did all these things. And I'm like, look, it's either going to be unfortunate when it comes out, or she didn't swallow anything and you guys did a good enough job cleaning her mouth out. And it just didn't matter. Like, she was okay, right? She got through it. We were there. We responded. And that's a lot of it, is just respond as calmly as you can, right? Like, I remember freaking out about the A535 until the nurse stopped laughing and read the ingredients, which was, sweetheart, it's just all menthol. She's eaten a lot of mint.
Then she got it in her eyes.
Then she rubbed it in her eyes. Yeah. And they kind of said, don't let her do that. And it's like, well, that's too late. Right. But yeah, that was the big thing, is just relax, because they are going to hurt themselves. Right. They are. And I mean, I guess it would lead me into the next one, which is, well, I'll say it after you say yours, I suppose. But that would be it. It's just chill. Don't stress.
Well, you can go into the next one.
Well, the next one is, yeah.
The only thing I would say, yeah, magnets. If they want more than one magnet, that's deadly.
Okay. Yeah. Did one of ours?
Ours didn't, but there was a time where they had those little toys with tiny, and even like the fridge magnets.
Yeah.
And then they would eat, and one little guy ate a bunch of the little magnets out of them. And they bunch together and get your innards all sort of. So if they swallow magnets, get straight to ER.
Okay. Duly noted.
Because they'll start to like form together and it's not good for their tummies.
The other thing is, and this was something that Caroline professes about being much better than I was, and it's true, I was far more worried with the first kid was, and I don't think I was a helicopter parent, but I was much more attuned to the dangers of being awake. But just, let them just go do their thing. Yeah. Right. Like there's very few things and I say that knowing that we didn't put a gate on the steps.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We weren't those parents.
We weren't, right? We got a gate because we got dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that was the first time we got baby. That was
the first time we got baby.
Like teenagers.
Yeah, and they begged us to finally get dogs. And there was good and bad about that, right? Some of the kids have fallen, but at the same time, they learned a lesson, right? And I was far more worried about the injuries and all that, kind of like for the previous lesson, but I never became a helicopter parent. I never rushed in and stopped things. I was just I had a lower tolerance for the thing they were doing than you did. But I would say just let them go, right? Let them. Most of the things in life these days are so overly sanitized and safetied. They really can't hurt themselves that bad, right? And you should be able to see the true dangerous stuff before they even get close to it. Like a broken pole in a playground sticking out of the ground. Yeah, right. Make sure they don't go near that, right? But like the brand new playground they put in at the kids' school when we were in the old town, there wasn't a single part of that could hurt them.
What about letting them eat a sour soother off the ground that you find?
Hard pass.
Well, no. See, I don't know.
That's just gross.
Gross. It's absolutely gross, but
okay.
It's not the end of the world if they did sneak something up. Good immunity.
No, I mean, I remember when one of the Pickle found her first piece of gum under her desk. She thought she found a candy shop nobody knew about. Yeah. Right. And it's like, dude, that's disgusting.
But it is okay. They survive. Yeah. It'll make them stronger. I love that you say that because that's one of the biggest traps that we fall into. And I'm always weekly, I'm going to schools and teaching about the traps. And one of those traps is be careful. Oh, you're going too fast. And you're going to teach them the wrong things. We need to build resilient kids where they need to be curious. They need to explore. They need to try things out. They need to be able to fall down. I mean, if there's a serious injury going to happen, then obviously we're going to step in, right? But kids fall down. Kids scrape knees.
Kids need to.
Yeah.
Kids need to, right? The one caveat that I would say is if you have a child that displays a tendency to not put their hands up when they fall, you're going to want to teach them that.
Or if you're on, a mountainside and your little one who's just learned to ride her bike, maybe don't let her go careening down the mountain.
Yeah. We're not saying, these are people we know of.
That has a 90-degree turn at the bottom.
Yeah. I'm not saying this is us. We're just saying, think about it.
Just sleep. Their sleep schedule is wonky. It's all mixed up. It's all over the place. So it really is a matter. Like I always tried to maintain the same sleep schedule, especially because I was still working. I went right back to work in school. So I had to maintain the sleep schedule and we were able to work that out.
Yeah. Our big ones. Yeah. The big ones for us was our sleep schedule. Right.
But sleep when you can.
Yeah. Sleep when you can as a parent. So it was good because we had naturally opposing kind of sleep cycles. Like I was a night owl, you're an early bird, right?
And I would say that's the number one priority. Sorry to interrupt.
No. That's fine. That's really good.
Because, when you're sleep deprived, it's worse than being drunk, really, like just in terms of your ability to make good decisions and things like that. And your emotion regulation, right? You are going to be way more irritable, way more snappy, way more frazzled and teary and, all of those things. And maybe go back to our podcast episode where we brought someone on just talking about, this was her research around sleep deprivation and making sure that we sleep, because you're going to hear that you're never going to get sleep, but I'm going to say it is possible and you should make it a priority because it affects your well-being, your baby's well-being, your relationship's well-being and everything. Like it really does.
Yeah. Like our roughest patches were when we were at our roughest emotionally and sleep wise.
Yeah. And I actually grew so panicky, I would say almost on the verge of anxiety disorder, terrified of the nights.
Yeah.
I was terrified of nights.
And really thinking back, nothing ever happened in the nights.
Not that no. It wasn't because I wouldn't get sleep.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean.
So it wasn't that I was terrified something bad would happen.
I see what
That's
you mean.
your wheelhouse. You're the one who gets scared. No. I was
scared's a harsh word.
It was just I was panicky because I was terrified of not being able to get enough sleep. And
thank God you're over that now.
I know. I never sleep. I'm running 4 hours again.
What are we at? Number 4, number 5, number 5?
I don't even know.
We'll say 5. I would say this is one that you and I talk about a lot. Don't forget when the kids were kids, when they were little, we've talked about a lot. We were busy every weekend with fun stuff. And that fun stuff got replaced with other stuff. It either got replaced with their sports, which can be fun, or errands, or just doing stuff, and somewhere along the way, you got to make sure that you still factor in the fun.
Yeah.
Right.
That was our biggest downfall.
Yeah. And we have bursts of it now. Like we're managing really interesting schedules now. So it's not like we can just blanket tell the kids that they got to go do stuff. But I think in the past few weeks in and around the traveling and stuff, we are trying to pick pockets of at least spending quality time together when we can. Right. And trying to do stuff when we can. But this it's forefront because of our conversation earlier about trying to have those fun things without making them hate them.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, we did it every weekend. It was easy. When you've got a baby, we're going swimming today.
Yeah. And we did so much. Totally. We haven't done swimming in years.
Because the girls don't want to.
No, they would. They do. Willow for sure would. But anyway, yeah, we did. But we were always out.
Always, right?
We had passes to like the zoo and
Groupon. Groupon was our savior. That'd be 5B.
But I have yearly passes to like Callaway, to the amusement park, and to the zoo and things like that.
Yeah.
Or Groupon's though too. Yeah.
As a new parent, go to Groupon. The baby stuff is usually pretty all right. But that'd be it. Don't lose. And some families are really good at it, right? Some families are really, really good at it. Just don't trade too much of the fun for too much of the routine, I guess is kind of.
And instill like family routines and rituals and traditions like that. Yeah. It doesn't even have to be around holidays, but like Sunday family dinner or in game night, or like start thinking about those things that just become so automatic that by the time they're older and teens, you just make sure that you make room for them. Like it's non-negotiable, right?
I think our Sunday dinner is really family movie night. It's the one thing that both girls, they always think of what is it going to be, right? And it's not what I would consider the traditional Sunday night roast around the table and whatever. But it's funny how that one's endured.
Well, even this weekend, Willow's got 3 sleepovers. So does she not have school on Monday?
No, because the election.
Oh,
sorry, not timestamping it. There may or may not be an election in the future.
This is
way past, So there was an election.
This is
But yeah, that's the one thing she's missing this weekend.
But no, like if she doesn't do her 3rd sleepover, because we were already thinking ahead of whose pick it is, and
that's that. And I agree with you. The rituals are important, and we have good ones around the holidays.
And the date night. I think that we're huge. Pretty good now. We didn't instill that younger, but we're really good at making sure. And the girls look forward to that, so they're good at telling us. But to your point, we were having this conversation earlier today, just around how, like you want to take the girls out golfing, and we went disc golfing one day, and they're like, "Oh, it's so boring," but we created boringness around it. So how can you make the atmosphere around it? Like if you're going, so the example I had, Andy's going golfing with guys, there'd be beer, they'd be, goofing around. So we got to make sure we're doing that kind of stuff with the kids. So good.
She doesn't mean beer. She means the goofing around fun stuff.
Yeah. So like
get the kids hammered for disc golf.
If I go hiking, like just have really good snacks and some music and making more stops, so it's not just a slog up the mountain, and like it's just, how do we make this fun for the kids as well?
And it's to the discussions we've had previously around understanding your kids and their personalities and who they are and tailoring the moment to try and capture some of that, right? Our kids are notorious. If one says something, the other has to pick the opposite. It's like it's a genetic trait.
Yeah.
So it's tricky sometimes to get them both jazzed about an event. But there are ways to have the one that's not as excited still participate and have a good time. But you're right. We need to be more thoughtful about the setup, right? The why are we doing this? This sounds boring. Yeah, but there's this and this and this, and we can do this, and that'll usually get them. But that would be my one thing: is don't sacrifice the fun stuff for the expected routine stuff, right?
Yeah. So my next one is you mamas, you're going to have humongous boobs.
Yeah, boy.
Humongous. But they're going to be very painful and hard as rock. Hard as rock. And you might have to actually massage because the milk can get hardened. Like I remember having to massage down all the time because it was painful, and you don't want those ducts to start clogging up because it's gross. But whether you nurse or not, like I said, I was right back to work, right back to school. So I had to pump. I brought a pump. I was pumping regularly, even if I didn't keep the milk, just for my own comfort, because it is so painful. And pro tip, get pads. Just like you'd get panty liners, get liners for your bras, because you are going to leak everywhere all the time. And get thick ones, because I would get thin ones and they would just leak through. So that's something I wasn't prepared for at all. And just the pain, it's painful, but they don't stay. Like I always had big boobs anyways. I mean, in high school, they called me bazonkers. In the military, I had Triple B was my nickname.
Classic.
Big boobs bazanko. So nursing kills them though. So they're going to get huge. They're going to be hard, painful hard though. Wear a liner. And depending on how long you nurse for, I definitely nursed too long because they suck those babies dry.
Well, you're being really forthcoming with info today.
But it's important to know because I had no clue. Had I known what it was going to happen to my boobs, I would not probably have nursed as long as I did.
Yeah, that's fair. As a subset to that, gentleman, your wife will not appreciate constant offers to massage her boobs for her. I'm not saying I learned that firsthand.
You wouldn't want to though. You wouldn't want to though,
hard.
because they will shoot milk. So just so you know, if you decide to have some romance and you take the bra off, there's a good chance you are going to get milk shooting across the room. Just saying.
Yeah.
So something to prepare for is something else that people might not actually tell you.
Yeah, 100%.
But it will happen. And it's hilarious. If your husband gets close enough to you, you can just spray him in the face with your milk across the room.
Yep. I'm not saying it happened, but she found it funny. I don't know what are the top 10 things. I don't want to keep repeating stuff. I'm trying to pick stuff that we don't usually talk about. Actually, one of the things is the best way to get your kids to appreciate something you appreciate is don't force it. Just enjoy it. And they'll come around or they won't. But the things that the kids like that I like, they like it because I didn't force it on them.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just talking with this to Maya the other day because I'm like, you're genuinely into hockey.
Yeah.
Whereas in the early years, I don't think she really was. Like, I think it was just to be cool with daddy. It was me and daddy thing. But now, like, she genuinely loves hockey and loves the players and is into it and has her own stupid fantasy hockey pool thingy. And, so. Yeah.
And it's the same with music, right? Like, music was another interest of mine that is huge. And it really came down to, what's wrong?
Just leave it like that.
What it came down to was I wanted them to like music so bad that I would kind of overdo it. But what I've noticed is when I finally backed off and just kind of went back to my own thing, that's when they started to kind of listen to what I was listening to, or would ask me questions about what I was listening to, or how did I find this, or whatever. And so I guess what I'm
But that
saying
was
is,
part of your bedtime routine that they loved.
yeah, I would always, yeah, I never sang conventional, like I don't know Disney songs like you do, but Maya can sing Gallows Pole by Led Zeppelin by memory because that's what I sang to her, right? I sang Zeppelin songs to her. And to this day, she will still do that. I sang Little Boxes to Willow all the time,
Yeah.
right? Like really songs that I loved that would be unique to us. Like some people may or may not know about it. But I had to back off, right? And let them develop their own appreciation for either genres or whatever. And it's funny to see them now because Maya has a massive wealth of knowledge about music and consumes it like I consume it, or I did at her age. Willow isn't the same. She has a massive repertoire, but she's much more top 40. But where she tries to connect with me is she really likes heavier music. Mm-hmm. So when we're in the truck together, it's, can you play this? Or can you, whereas, you know, I threw on, this kid cracks me up, man. I threw on System of a Down the other day and cranked it like real loud. And she's sitting there in the passenger seat, just bobbing her head, kind of looking out the window. It was her and I, and it was a beautiful day, and the windows were down, and we're just idiots with a loud truck driving down the road. We get to a stoplight. Mom would hate this. And then just goes and looks right back out the window and keeps bobbing her head and just completely happy and loving it. But it was because it took me a long time to realize that they'll learn to appreciate and develop their own love of what you do if you just demonstrate. It's like anything, demonstrate it, don't force it. Yeah. Right. And so that was the big lesson for me is like art. Maya developed her love of art, not because I did anything with it, right? You drew with her more than I do, right? Even though you say I'm a better artist, I'm not. You're better at spending time and showing her that. And then she went off and figured out what she likes and doesn't like and the style she likes. And I would just try and drop little bits like, oh, I like this style, and let her go explore, right? That'd be probably one of the big things.
I do wish I kept doing it. We would, for hours, we would just sit and draw and draw and draw and draw. Willow and I will a little bit now, but yeah.
But there was a dip with Maya around the same age too. Yeah. And then it comes back, I think. So, but that'd be the big thing is, you know, expose them to what you love and then back off.
I think that was my downfall with skiing, is that like I forced them into lessons and I forced them to go with me. And then I was mad if they weren't keeping up or if they're crying and like, just get up and go. You're fine. You know how to skate. This is the same thing. So I get impatient and I worry that I bring negative energy. Like you got to get rid of any negativity in any interaction with your child. Replace it with curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always saying that, and with your spouse. And so maybe wasn't going to be my next thing, but I think that's going to be my next thing.
That's a bang on tie-in for sure.
Yeah. 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 Just any negativity, replace it with curiosity. Oh, wow. And so think of when you're curious, your eyes go wide, right? And so when your eyes go wide, your face lightens, your body opens, your body posture opens. So you're creating safety, but you can't, like I've tried, but oh, wow. Like you just hit your sister in the face and she's got a broken nose. Wow. Like if your eyes are wide, you can't say it angrily, right? Yeah. And it just helps. It actually physiologically helps you stay calmer too if your eyes are wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I was just kind of going through like what different places would say. I don't agree with a lot of it. But I do think, like, looking back, I think just it's easy to get caught up in the overwhelm and the when is this phase going to be over? Or I'm just so tired and I'm just so stressed and I'm just this and I'm just that, where we just need to stop and be mindful in that moment. Every time you like create a habit, every time you pick the baby up or every time you're holding the baby next to your chest, you just hold, like, feel them against you, feel them in your arms, feel them against your skin, smell them using your senses. I'm not even acknowledging the shake them.
No, it's not the shaking thing. I'm thinking of the girls right now. If you were talking about this,
they call me a hippie.
Yes, but I'm 100% on the same page as you, but our own children are awful. They're awful and they don't support us. And as soon as you take that mindful, they Where in your body do you feel it the most? They would make fun of you so bad for
I
this,
know
but
they're
it's
always
hilarious.
making fun of me, but that's true. Like that, because that's where life is in those moments when we're fully present here. It's when we worry about the past, worry about the future, get caught up in the overwhelm. So I would create that ritual every time you connect with first your baby. I've talked about collecting our kids every time you've been away from them, even for 5 minutes. When you come back, how do you collect them? Smile.
Yeah.
Be mindful, take in, because every moment to moment to moment is going to change. Every day is a new day, especially in this first, when they're developing, it goes so quick from crying, eyes closed, sleeping to smiling and giggling. And now they're swatting at toys. Now they're rolling over. Now they're scooching or crawling. And now they're walking and talking. And now they're driving.
Yeah.
So it's being able to every day find those moments to moments.
You're bang on. And I'm not perfect at it by any means, but that's one thing that as soon as the kid enters my day, like coming back from school, we're both pretty lucky because the girls will seek us out.
Yeah.
And then they'll spend
Which
a few minutes with us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and if Maya hears me come home, she'll come upstairs from the basement. Yeah.
But it's because we stop, right? Like as soon as they come in, unless I'm on a meeting, and I try not to schedule meetings late in the day so that I have that free time, but it happens. But as soon as they walk in, I turn. My headphones are out and I turn. What happened at school today? What's going on? Blah, 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 right? Some days it's just an excuse to flop around and tell me how bad life is. And some days it's just, to decompress. Sometimes it's just to rattle on about whatever. But I think it was because you said something years ago where the presence thing, right? To be there in the moment. All it really takes is just turn towards the kid.
Yeah.
Set down what you're doing and turn towards the kid, right? Even if you've got your computer up or you got your phone, you got whatever, just turn so that they realize that you've separated what it is you're doing and when I pick Willow up from school, as soon as she's in the truck, I turn. And it's either to give her a fist bump or how was your day, or just to let her know that in that split second, nothing else is taking my focus other than how are you?
So you're better than me.
No.
Well, if it's before 4 and I'm working, I usually don't turn. But yesterday I did because it was just earlier afternoon and Willow came in, but she talks, like she'll come in and she knows I'm listening and talking, but I stopped. I stopped and turned all the way around. She stopped for a second and like put her head back like, wow, but kept going and talking. And it was just way more engaging. And so I do try. My big thing is the oxytocin hugs.
Yes.
Every day. Maya hates it. She avoids me now, and because I work out. And so when she comes out, like I'm just right there.
What you do really well though, in addition to that, is if we congregate in the kitchen when you come home, because you're usually the catalyst that brings everybody out. On the days that you're not working from home, like you've showered and left and you're an adult and you come back. You will cuddle up with both of them or one of them on the bench in the kitchen, and you will have a snack or you'll whatever, but you're literally a foot away from them, 2 feet away from them for anywhere from 5 minutes to the other day. You guys did it for like 2 hours, 3 hours, right? You were just together. That's pretty critical because especially what the girls notice then with you is that you're not running off to go to work. Right. And so they relax. When you do that, they know it's cool to just chill. Right. When you come in and you got your lunch kit and you throw open the fridge and you're hungry and you're this, and I got to run upstairs. Everybody kind of has the perimeter and they get it, but you're really good at those times when you can stretch it out, you will. And to show them that, I don't know if you realize this or not, you typically sit at that bench and they come to you. And then you have that one-on-one with them for however long.
And I noticed that today we were both in the front room and Maya came. She's like, oh, I may as well go get a book just to kind of be with us. Right. So, but oxytocin hugs. I know I've talked about them, but just in case, you hold them like full brace and hug. And I do it for 9 Mississippi counts. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. And it just helps bring her feel good. But that could be something to like start it now with your baby and it'll just become so automatic.
Well, it's like us saying we love them. Isaiah loved them 20 times a day.
Yeah.
Right. That's always been the most important. That's one of the things that mom and dad did really well. If we were leaving the house, it was, I love you. It wasn't, they might yell goodbye, but the last thing I ever heard every time I walked out of the house was, okay, love you, every time. And so that was something I wanted to carry forward because, I never wanted to, I've talked about it before. I never wanted to question that, right? As grumpy as they think I might be sometimes, they still need to know that. I would say the next thing is encouraging them to question, to approach me with questions. Anytime they would start with, Dad, can I ask you something? I tried to always say, always. Not yeah, not okay. Yeah, always. Because I wanted them to know from a very early age that I was cool with them asking questions about anything.
See, I say you just did.
So there's two different paths that parents can take.
But, can I ask you something? I'm like, well, you just did. So there you
go. Okay. So that's definitely door number one. But all kidding aside, they'll come talk to you about the big ticket stuff and you're good about it. But that was something, and I did that specifically because dads typically get the rep of not being the one that they wouldn't go and talk to, or not be the one that they would want to ask questions of, or they're embarrassed to, or whatever. And I never wanted that. I always wanted the kids to know there's always stuff I accept that they might be more comfortable with you, and that's cool, right? We have the benefit that we're together, and right, like, yes, I want them to be close to you, just like I want them to be close to me in different ways. But that was the only way I could really think of it early is never dismiss when they took the time to come say, hey, can I ask you a question? Never dismiss that. Yeah. Always say, yeah, 100%. You can ask me anything. What is it? And that's become fairly comfortable. Like they know, as they enter their teenage years or they're in their teenage years, there's obviously stuff that they're not comfortable talking to me about. I think Maya was mortified the day I had to go get her hygiene products, but
sanitary napkins.
But
she's like totally like, yeah, Dad, can you pick me up pads when you go out?
Totally. Now she's comfortable with it, but the first time she was mortified.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is those things of as a parent or as a dad, start really early of making sure that the kid feels that they're okay to come to you with everything. Even if it's, hey, can I ask you a question? And you're like, yeah. And they say, how do you stop a car from being on fire? Okay, go deal with it and then deal with what happened, but don't make them upset about having come and ask you the question. So that'll be it.
I think my last one, I have no idea. I wasn't keeping track, but just being proactive with the witching hour. I always say to families, when's your witching hour? That's what you want to target. There's going to be a witching hour at every age from the minute you bring them home all the way until they leave the house. There's going to be some time that's the witching hour. And it might be different. For me, that first year, the witching hour was in the middle of the night, just because I was at my most vulnerable and tired, right? And so that was a hard time for me. So, but we worked around that. But then usually like the witching hours at that, actually I do have one more after this, is at the, trying to make dinner. Everybody's coming home. Blood sugars are low. The kids are tired from school. So just proactively, how can we set those times up so that we can get along? And, but for now, if they're babies, it's just knowing that, and you and your partner, or if you're on your own too, just like knowing how can we proactively set this up.
Yeah.
But that leads me to screens. I think you guys all know my thing on screens.
I was going to try and get through one episode without saying it.
Okay. Sorry. Just don't do it. I was at a school.
That's right.
Well, I'm at a school all the time now, but I was just at a school and they were like, yeah, what do we do to help our teen? Because it was a high school. I'm like, oh man, you guys are screwed. But they're like, what do we do to help get our kids off I loved your answer, to get off the screens, to get off their phone. I loved your answer. It was like, build a time machine and go back to the day before you said yes to screens. And so just know that you have this time. Yes, they have to learn digital citizenship. They have to learn, how to use those things just because we're living in it, but you don't have to give it. They can lay there even and cry for a couple of minutes while you go and shower. give them something to look at,
Yeah.
give them a book as they get older. They can fill their time. They do not need a screen for you to fill time. I would create very firm boundaries around that. And we do like co-watching. You're only allowed a screen if you are with someone in person playing the game or watching the screen.
Yeah.
Like just think about those things now and hold to it. Don't care what everybody else is doing, because I'm telling you, they're not doing it healthfully. There are guidelines for a reason. Maybe I'll throw them in the show notes if I remember, but babies under 2, 0 screens. It affects their brain development. Up, elementary. So as like toddlers, elementary, early elementary, half an hour at most, but that's co-watching, like quality stuff that you're engaging and interacting with. Even in high school, they shouldn't have more than 2 hours a day, including their schoolwork, which I think is impossible because I think they're on their computers all day. So then there you go. They just shouldn't have screens at night. But that would be probably a huge, huge one, because I'm so worried about where this world is going. And I'm so scared for all of our kids, and for so many reasons, but this is the number one reason. And it's stress is the number one contributor to anxiety disorders, which is the gateway to everything else, to depression and suicidal ideation, self-harming, eating disorders, everything else. And screens are the number one contributor to stress. So,
and the best way, so for new parents, because you are the ones truly that are in the position to make it the right decision early, take a long, hard look at yourself. And if, as she spoke, you started to rationalize your own screen use of your phone, or I love The Bachelorette. I can't miss The Bachelorette.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah. Oh. If I can just, maybe it is, I don't know. But if I could just be really blunt with you, you're the problem. Yeah. If you're rationalizing your own screen use as a means for why it's going to be really hard to make this change, remember that decision in 12 years as your kid is losing their mind because you're trying to take their iPad away from them and you can't control them. Your rationalization of your own screen. And I say this as a dude who loves TV. Like, it was my jam. And I see how bad that can be, right? And I'm very thankful that Caroline was super mean and took away all our TVs, right? But all kidding aside, look really, really, if you've just brought your kid home, if you're in the first year of life with your kid, how many screens do you have in your house? How many screens do you have in your car? How do you think you're going to fly and travel? And if any of the answers involve a screen, you've made the wrong decision. So stop that. Get rid of them.
Yeah, but is going to be your enemy when you're like, yeah, but just 5 minutes, right? Yeah. Like it won't hurt them for 5 minutes. I'm just going to shower. On that note too, though, actually, there's so much research about babies who aren't forming the attached bonds with their parents. So like we're looking at attachment now, and empathy. But the big thing is mamas scrolling on their phones when they're nursing. Put your phone away. Those are a huge inhibitor for our babies to be able to attach to us. They should be looking up at us, because when we're scrolling, so when they did all of the attachment research, one of the where they're insecurely attached when moms don't respond to their smiles and cries. She's got a neutral face. And guess how our face looks when we scroll? We are neutral and we're not looking at our babies and engaging. So I think I've used this analogy before. Like, think of the phone as a person. Would you bring a person into the bathroom with you? Would you bring a person into your intimate feeding time with your baby? Would you bring a phone or a person into your bed with you at night as you are going to sleep? Like, think of that phone as another person.
Maybe stranger is a better way to put it, because there are people that would go to a bathroom with a person or bring a person to their bed. Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
I suppose. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, just think of those boundaries for yourself, and don't let it, would you let another, stranger come in and interrupt your family dinner or a really important conversation you're having with your kid? And your bonding time with your kid, you wouldn't let a stranger do that. So that would be my only thing. this is probably way longer, but I think now I'm like, oh, this and this and this.
Screen's bad. Be good to each other.
Screens are okay as long as they're not getting in the way of attachment, of other important developmental tasks and things like that. But they don't need it. They don't need it. That's something for another day.
Start sparse.
Yeah.
Because if you start with it,
once you give it, you can't pull it away.
Why am I advocating for this? I'm supposed to be the guy that says you're a nut.
I know.
Really, if it comes down to, if you don't have it, you won't miss it.
Yeah.
But if you give it to your kid and try and take it away, you've lost.
Yeah.
So people, like I said, with babies, take a long, hard look now and make the right decision early, because it's only going to pay off down the road.
Yeah.
I don't care if they don't know how to do a story on TikTok. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't care if they don't know how to use Snapchat. I really don't. Yeah. I'm super happy that they've never logged into Facebook. Mm-hmm. Will it hurt them in the long run? Maybe. People are still, I had someone say it on our trip recently. Oh, well, I'll just send it to you on Instagram. I said, don't bother. And I had to explain to him that I shut down all social media like 6+ years ago. And he was flabbergasted. And he just couldn't. He's like, really? You have nothing? I said, I have LinkedIn because I use it for work. That's it. You don't even have Twitter? No, I don't even have Twitter. You don't even have Facebook? No, I don't have Facebook. It was hard, but it was the best decision I made. And if you're able to make that decision while your kid is still in those formative years, do it. Yeah. It'll make your life better.
I have social media just for business and I'm barely on it. I probably should be better with just checking groups and stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's all. There was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember.
We high-fived. It's over. Boom, we nailed it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Good day.
Because you can't build a time machine. If you can build a time machine, then you can go back and redo stuff, but you can't.
Go back to the cowboy era, though. Go back to the Wild West.
Dinosaurs.
No.
Dinosaurs.
It'd be like Back to the Future 3. It'd be awesome. I'd get a picture of the clock with Doc Brown.
Like I don't think you'd like it.
I don't think you'd like dinosaurs.
Well, I would.
Would you?
Yep. Maybe
little Miss Appetizer. You'd love to hang out with the dinosaurs.
Maybe not T-Rexes. From a distance, T-Rexes would be awesome. Well,
I've got a better chance of being handy with the steel, so to say, than you do of not getting killed by a pterodactyl. Or a B-Rontosaurus.
High on a brontosaurus. Brontosaurus won't hurt me.
Squish you.
No. Good day.
Good day.